There's a place along the northern California coast where the land feels like it just ends, where fog rolls in without warning, and the ocean below has taken more lives than anyone can count. Standing against the wind, alone, is the Point Arena Lighthouse. Most people come here for the view, but some leave with something else, a feeling they can't explain. Because while this lighthouse isn't known as one of the most haunted places in America, those who've spent the night there often say the same thing. Something about it doesn't feel empty. The first lighthouse was built in 1870, along a stretch of coastline so dangerous it had already claimed countless ships. But what most people don't think about is what it was like to live there. Lighthouse keepers didn't just work here, they stayed with their families in a place where the fog could last for days. The wind never really stopped, and the nearest town felt a world away. There are records describing the stress of the job, long hours, constant pressure, and the weight of knowing that one mistake could cost lives. And when you combine isolation, responsibility, and fear, it leaves something behind, even after the people are gone. In 1906, everything changed. The earthquake that tore through California didn't just damage the lighthouse, it broke it beyond repair. Families who had already been living in isolation were now sleeping in tents, right there, next to the ruins, listening to the same ocean that had always surrounded them. And yet, they stayed, almost as if leaving wasn't an option. Over the years, visitors have been allowed to stay overnight in the keeper's quarters, and this is where the tone of the story changes, because the experiences people describe aren't dramatic. They're quiet, subtle, but they repeat. One visitor described waking up in the middle of the night with the overwhelming feeling that someone was standing in the doorway, not moving, not speaking, just there. They said they didn't see anything clearly, but they couldn't shake the feeling long enough to go back to sleep. Another guest, staying in one of the rooms, reported hearing what sounded like footsteps moving across the floor above them. The problem? There was no one staying in that part of the building. At first, they thought it might be the wind, but the steps were too steady, too deliberate, back and forth, like someone pacing. A couple visiting the lighthouse described something even simpler, but harder to ignore. They said, "It felt like we were intruding, not scared, not threatened, just unwelcome, like the space still belonged to someone else." Even people who work at the lighthouse have acknowledged the atmosphere, not in a dramatic way, but in a way that stands out. Some staff members have mentioned that certain areas of the building feel different at night, especially when the fog rolls in and visibility drops to almost nothing. There was also a moment captured by the lighthouse director involving a strange formation at the top of the tower. It appeared briefly, almost like a figure, defined enough to catch attention, but gone just as quickly. Later explained as fog and light interacting in a specific way. And yet, it didn't stop people from wondering. Here's what makes this place different. The experiences don't sound exaggerated. No one's claiming full apparitions. No one's telling stories that feel impossible. Instead, it's the kind of things people hesitate to even mention. A feeling, a sound, a moment where something feels slightly off. And when multiple people who don't know each other start describing the same kinds of moments, it becomes harder to ignore. There's another possibility, one that might explain everything, or nothing. The isolation, the constant sound of the ocean, the darkness, the fog that erases the world around you. Places like this are known to heighten awareness, to make your senses sharper and your thoughts louder. But even knowing that doesn't always make the feeling go away. Today, the lighthouse still stands, unchanged in its purpose, still watching over the same dangerous waters, still surrounded by the same silence. You can walk the grounds, climb the tower, even spend the night, and maybe you won't experience anything at all. But if you do, it probably won't be obvious. It won't be loud. It'll be something small, something easy to dismiss, until later, when you realize you weren't as alone as you thought. If you ever decide to visit the Point Arena Lighthouse for yourself, there are places nearby where you can stay, including the quiet and coastal Wildflower Boutique Motel, a peaceful contrast to the isolation of the lighthouse. But after a night on those cliffs, with the wind, the fog, and the sound of the ocean below, you might find that the feeling follows you. Thank you for watching. If you have a minute, please like and subscribe to see more. I really enjoy bringing you these videos and hope you like watching as much as I love making them.